Hi everyone and welcome to another Incubus tutorial. Today we are talking the cracking song Idiot Box. There are a few pedals used within this track, and as I go through I'll explain what I'm using and when they are used. All the gear I'm using in this lesson is listed in the description below the video, and all the pedal settings are there too. If you'd like the tab for this song or any other Incubus songs that I have covered, you can get them on my Patreon page. You'll also get early access to videos just like this one, and there are exclusive tutorials on there too. The link is in the description below as well. So with all that said, let's dive into the lesson. So this track is in standard tuning, so we're simply tuned to a low E, an A, D, G, B, and a high E. Now this song starts with some wicked amp feedback coupled with what sounds like a wash of PH2 super phaser mixed in. Now for most of us mere mortals that can't crank an amp in a room and have that much feedback, we're probably just going to start on a slide up and down the neck before playing a big D5 power chord up on the 5th fret, and that is using the 5th in the bass again. So here's a standard D power chord, and then we're using our first finger to just bar across onto that low E as well. So we keep this chord shape and we slide it up 1 fret to the 6th fret before sliding down to the 3rd fret, and finally we come back up to the 5th fret. So we repeat this pattern before going to an A power chord up at the 5th fret. So from that D power chord shape, we're just moving our ring and little finger up 1 string each. And so here is up to that A power chord slowly so you can see the strum pattern. So from that A power chord, we slide down to a G power chord on the 3rd fret before ending on a stretched out B flat sus2. Now that is our first finger on the 6th fret of the low E, second finger is on the A string at the 8th fret, and our little finger is on the 10th fret of the D string. So we finish this riff with 3 percussive strums before cycling the whole thing back around again. Let's put the whole thing together slowly. The second time around we hang on to that B flat sus2 and we add the PH2 super phaser, so it sounds like this from the A power chord down. And that is the whole intro and chorus riff. So from there we switch to a clean sound. We take off the PH2 and we add a Rotary effect, which is emulating a Leslie cabinet. Don't worry if you don't have one, you could use the PH2 instead, and Mike used to do this live back in the Science days too. So here is how the verse sounds. So for this verse section, we start up on the 14th fret and we bar our first finger across the G, B and high E string. We then add our second finger onto the B string at the 15th fret. You could use your ring finger as well if you prefer. So this makes a standard D major chord, just an octave higher. So if you're familiar with this shape, we're playing the same thing, just an octave up. So, and here we strike through these 3 strings and let the chord ring out. So. Then we come down to this shape, which is our 3rd finger on the G string at the 10th fret. Our little finger is on the B string at the 10th fret, and our first finger stretches back to the high E on the 7th fret. Now this makes an F major, but with a flat 5 instead. So here's the regular 5th, and then we step it back and we've got... So it sounds a lot more sort of mysterious. And so again, we strike through all 3 strings again from the G string down. Next we slide this shape down to the 7th fret, which is making a D major with a flat 5, and we play from the G string down to the high E again. And then lastly we arpeggiate a D7 chord down at the 2nd and 1st fret. So we play the open D string, then the G string at the 2nd fret, then the B string at the 1st fret, back to the 2nd fret of the G string before string skipping to the high E at the 2nd fret and running back to the 1st fret B string and finally the 2nd fret G string. Then the whole thing repeats. So all together and with the effect off, it sounds like this very slowly through. And then we repeat. So once you play through the chorus, we then go back into a verse, and then we have a double chorus, and then we have a little break while Dirk is doing his thing on the bass, and there's that kind of drum loop going on before we come back in and we play this. Now for my cover version of this track, I was playing this part completely wrong, so please don't take my cover as correct. I'm pretty confident I've corrected my mistake here with this tutorial and with the tab on Patreon as well. So the first part of the bridge uses a clean sound with a combination of delay and the PH2 superphaser, or this is certainly what he does live. We play the 16th fret, the G string, and the 17th fret high E together. I'm using my pick and my middle finger to do this, but you could just use your pick if you prefer. Next, we quickly turn off the phaser and the delay and turn on the Gonkulator to play the 16th to 17th and back to the 16th on the high E. And then next we play the same pattern but on the G string, so 16 to 7 on the G string. So we've got so there's a bit of a delay on the G string. You don't go back and forth like you do on the high E. You've got a little rest before you play 17 back to 16. So those two parts together without the effects are like this. Now we repeat this 4 times before going down to a G power chord at the 3rd fret. Turn off the Gonkulator and add your distortion back on and play this. So let me play that part a little bit slower so you can get the strum pattern down. So it's like this. If you can think of Brandon's lyrics in your head as he's singing them, it follows that same pattern that he's singing, basically. I find that helps me to get that part down. Then from that part, we switch back to a clean sound, and we add the Rotary effect, or the PH2 if you've been using that, and we play through the verse chords again, but only down to the 7th fret shape. Then we turn off the Rotary effect, add the distortion, and quickly strum the D7 chord at the 1st and 2nd fret before playing through the chorus again. So that last part is like this. Then we have the drums that then lead us back into that final chorus. Now to end the song, we play through the chorus riff, but with a load of extra percussive notes, like this. And here is that slowed down. Now to end the entire song, we go back to the G power chord at the 3rd fret and we play this. That part is all palm muted, and the last note is the D string at the 5th fret and the open G string together with the Gonkulator added on, and we let that ring out. Now the recording sounds like the Gonkulator is in the left speaker and the PH2 is in the right hand speaker, so you could use either to end on, to be honest. And there we go, you can now play through the lovely Incubus song Idiot Box. If you enjoyed this lesson, you may also enjoy the one that is on screen now. Thank you so much for watching.